Now, thank you so much guys for watching, and please welcome back once again to my channel. Please subscribe just in case you are here for the first time, and also don't forget to press the notification bell so that YouTube can automatically update you immediately I post a video here. Otherwise, I really want to appreciate my subscribers so much, because without the support, this channel cannot be where it is currently. So feel very much welcome as you watch, and I really don't take your support for granted. So this week on Wednesday, 29th of March 2023, Raila Odinga convened a meeting together with the US Senator by the name Coons here in Nairobi. So this Coons, ladies and gentlemen, was officially sent by the US President Joe Biden himself so that he can come to Kenya and hold several meetings or several talks together with the Kenyan national political leaders. And that is why Coons also met with the Deputy President of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua himself. He would have met with President William Ruto, but Ruto was out of the country for a few days visit to Germany and Belgium. But now that he's back to the country, I expect Coons to hold a meeting together with William Ruto. But this meeting between Raila Odinga and Coons came a few hours after the US President Joe Biden himself personally warned Raila Odinga against holding mass actions across the country, against inciting people during that mass action and causing chaos and violence during the demonstrations that is being carried out across the country. So in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you the details of that meeting between Coons and Raila Odinga, what they really discussed according to the information that I'm having here. But before that, let me just read for you this tweet that Raila Odinga tweeted immediately he ended that meeting with Coons. He said that we had a fruitful discussion on the importance of upholding the Constitution and rule of law, and agreed to keep channels of communications open. So first of all, what Raila Odinga discussed with the US Senator Coons in that meeting, Raila Odinga was forced to explain about his recent remarks warning the international community against interfering with his mass actions that he's been carrying out across the country. In my personal view, ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga knows and understands very well that his mass action is too much against the law, and if the international community were to talk about it, they would never support what Raila Odinga is currently doing. And that is why the US President, or immediately he warned the international community against interfering with this mass action, the US President Joe Biden immediately responded to Raila Odinga, saying that he must not incite people to cause violence and chaos during the mass actions. If at all Raila Odinga must carry out the demonstration because it is his right as per the Constitution of Kenya, then it must be too much peaceful. Also, the US President Joe Biden urged President William Ruto not to use a lot of force during the mass action, because we have seen several people injured and some cases of people being dead during the mass action. And therefore he urged William Ruto, or he convened a meeting together with William Ruto in the US, whereby he invited him so that he can have a training on how to handle Raila Odinga's mass action, and together with several other African leaders, because the mass actions, the demonstrations have been increasing here in Africa. So, and that is why during this meeting, or after this meeting between Coons and Raila Odinga made it very clear that he will now respect the rule of law and he will uphold the Constitution during the peaceful protest that is planning to carry out across the country. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, Coons talked during that meeting about Raila Odinga's illegal mass action. You know, there is the incitement, and because of this incitement of Azimio la Umoja that has been doing it, majority of people are being injured. They are going against the law. They are, destroying the properties, looting other people's properties, burning other people's properties and, destruction of properties across the country, especially in Kisumu area and here in Nairobi. And that simply explains as to why Raila Odinga has not been carrying out his recent mass action here in Nairobi CBD. He has been going to his major strongholds, like for example, he was in Embakasi East, Imara Daima, Pipeline, those areas where he knows very well that he has huge support, including Kibra, Kamukunji, and the rest of the places. But Raila Odinga has never been doing the mass action here in Nairobi CBD, because during Raila Odinga's mass action, the protests are not peaceful at all. And because of this protest, or this illegal protest, that is why Chris Coons had to carry out the meeting with Raila Odinga, so that they can agree way forward on how Raila Odinga will be carrying out his peaceful protest. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Coons talked about the foreign investors whose businesses are at risk during Raila Odinga's call for mass actions. Several other foreign investors have been ejected in areas which are not safe for them. Like for example, in Kisumu County, you cannot find the foreign investors there, the businesses from foreign countries, simply because it's not a good condition for the businesses to be carried out. Here in Nairobi CBD, several businesses are being closed simply because of Raila Odinga's mass actions. But at least yesterday, I saw several people going to work. Several people opened their businesses here in Nairobi Center, simply because there was strict security. Tight security was deployed here in Nairobi, such that if you would be seen walking into groups, you will be arrested immediately. So that is why Raila Odinga never stepped in Nairobi CBD, just as I had said it earlier on. So these foreign investors are too much at risk whenever Raila Odinga carries out for the mass actions. So they had talked about it, and they agreed on the way forward on how to protect the foreigners' businesses. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, there could be a possibility that Chris Coons talked with Raila Odinga concerning the mediation. The reason as to why I'm saying this is simply because Chris Coons, when he met with Rigathi Gachagua, they talked about the handshake or the mediation between the Kenya Kwanza and Raila Odinga, that they bring Raila Odinga into the table and have a talk about it. But Rigathi Gachagua on his side, who he was talking on behalf of President William Ruto, completely rejected working or having a handshake with the opposition or inviting the opposition for talks. But on Raila Odinga's side, Raila Odinga has never been, too much hard to meet with William Ruto. The only thing is that Raila Odinga has set some conditions that will be met before he meets with William Ruto. Like for example, the IEBC servers to be opened, the Cherera 4 to be returned back to the IEBC, and the cost of living to be lowered down, and the IEBC selection panel or appointment of the new IEBC officials to be repeated, and him to be included during the appointment of the new IEBC officials. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. Otherwise, I really appreciate you so much. Don't forget to press the notification bell or to press the subscription button. Until next time, my name is Json. Bye bye.